In the heart of the city's most vibrant district, the Aureum nightclub pulsed with life. Outside, the streets were a chaotic symphony of shouting vendors, honking cars, and the distant wail of sirens. Yet within the Aureum's golden walls, a different atmosphere prevailed, one that was cloaked in luxury and intrigue. The air was thick with the scent of expensive perfumes and the faint, smoky residue of cigars, blending seamlessly with the sweet notes of high-end cocktails. Golden chandeliers hung like radiant suns from the ceiling, their light dancing across polished mahogany tables, crystal glasses, and meticulously stacked chips, illuminating the laughter and the whispers that filled the room. Tori sat at a table near the center, his relaxed demeanor starkly contrasting with the serious tone of the meeting unfolding before him. His blonde hair was slicked back with precision, every strand in place, while his transparent glasses framed keen eyes that scrutinized everything around him. He wore a vibrant, tropical floral shirt, open at the collar, which gave him an air of nonchalance, as if he believed he could handle even the most dangerous negotiations with the ease of an evening chat. Across from him, Rodney presented a different picture entirely. A seasoned player in the world of shadows and secrets, he had the weariness of a man who had navigated countless treacherous waters. His reddish eyes, half shut, suggested a mind always calculating, assessing the risks of every maneuver. His hair was a haphazard mix of dark brown and gray, and heavy brows shadowed his gaze, reinforcing the impression of someone perpetually on guard. Behind Rodney loomed several men, their dark shirts and high collars giving them an intimidating presence. They were silent, like sentinels, their eyes flickering between Tori and their charge with a synchronized intensity. Among them, two men stood out, their sharply styled hair and matching attire making them look like a sinister duet from a dystopian tale. On Tori's side, fewer men occupied the space, but their presence was no less imposing. Yet none matched the colossal figure of Hreaterzu, who loomed several meters away, engrossed in a battle against a row of flashing gambling machines. He was an imposing sight, built like a beast, with shoulders broad enough to block out light, clad in a tiny sleeveless shirt that struggled to contain his muscles. His thick mane of brown hair tumbled around him, giving him a wild, untamed appearance. As he slammed his hand against a machine in frustration, the sound echoed through the club, drowning out even the music. "We agreed on 15%, Rodney," Tori said, his voice steady as he held a document between his fingers, the pages crisp and white against the backdrop of gold and glamour. Rodney's gaze lingered on the paper, but his response was measured. "In this district, rates change, just like the rules." Tori leaned forward, the corners of his mouth twitching slightly. Remote export-grade shooters and infrared detection devices should not be difficult for someone with your network. With a faint smile dancing at the edges of his lips, Rodney replied, "They aren't difficult, but moving them safely always has a price." As the tension thickened, a waitress approached, placing a glass of dark liquor in front of Tori. Before the glass could even settle, Hreaterzu's massive hand snatched it away, downing the drink in one swift motion, a playful grin spreading across his face as he returned the empty glass to the bewildered server. "Prices change, huh, Tori?" he bellowed, his voice booming across the table. Rodney's curiosity piqued. He glanced at Hreaterzu. "Your companion seems to be enjoying the place." Tori sighed softly. "He finds entertainment in strange places." Their conversation resumed, the stakes rising with every word exchanged. "Now, about come," Rodney said, letting the name hang in the air like a bullet waiting to be fired. For a moment, Tori remained silent, the weight of the revelation settling around them like a thick fog. "A former member of my organization," he finally clarified, his voice steady as he met Rodney's calculating gaze. Rodney's nod was slow and deliberate. "And now one of my most valuable fighters." Tori's hands rested on the table, fingers splayed with calm determination. "Which is why I came to talk to you." Rodney leaned back, a shadow of a smirk crossing his face. "Do you know how difficult it was to keep him? The Inquisitors transferred him to me as part of an old debt, and I needed certain connections to keep him working under my authority." Tori's eyes remained fixed on Rodney, unwavering. "I'm not asking you to release him." Rodney chuckled quietly, the sound low and mocking. "That's good." Tori continued, undeterred. "I only need him temporarily, for a job." Rodney tapped his fingers against the table, his expression contemplative. "Even if I lend him, I have more than enough legal and illegal contacts to make sure he comes back. Tori nodded, understanding the unspoken warning in Rodney's words. I know. Rodney scrutinized him closely. Then you understand that the arrangement remains under my control. Tori shrugged lightly, a hint of confidence in his posture. That has never been a problem before. A taut silence enveloped them, as they measured each other's resolve. Finally, Rodney spoke, his tone cautious. Rerington, he murmured, the mention of the city bringing an edge of tension to the air. Exactly, Tori replied, his expression unwavering. Rodney exhaled slowly, the gravity of the situation palpable. Difficult city. Too many cameras, too many civilians who notice things they shouldn't. Which is why we need precision, Tori countered, his voice firm and resolute. Glancing toward Hreaterzu, who had started a ruckus with another machine, Rodney inquired, And you are sure you don't need additional fighters? Tori shook his head. My combat team is covered. Rodney reclined in his chair, the corners of his mouth twitching. Then we keep it simple. I provide the equipment. I lend you come. When the job is done, he returns to me. Tori picked up the document once again, their agreement crystallizing in the air. Deal. They locked gazes, a silent understanding passing between them, before shaking hands, sealing their pact. Just as they did, a loud metallic crash erupted from behind them, causing a cascade of chips to spill from a machine. Ha! Hreaterzu roared triumphantly, raising his arms as if he were a champion. Tori rose slowly from the table, exasperation brewing beneath his calm exterior. Hreaterzu, the giant turned, still reveling in his victory. Did you see that? I finally beat it. Tori began walking toward the exit, his voice calm but firm. Hreaterzu. With reluctance, the giant followed, glancing back at the machines that had taunted him. But I was just starting to win my money back. Tori paused near the door, looking back with a mix of irritation and amusement. Next time try behaving like we are attending an important negotiation. Hreaterzu cast one last lingering look at the machines as they stepped outside into the cool night air, his thoughts still lingering on the battle he had left behind. That machine still owes me chips. Tori didn't respond, instead focusing on the piece of paper in his hand, the address where they would find Kung. Behind him, Hreaterzu trudged slowly, still caught in a daydream of flashing lights and ringing coins, as if already plotting his return to the Aureum nightclub.